All right, everybody. So what's good? Welcome back to another episode. So on this episode, guys, I basically want to go over on how I'm basically spending slash investing my money during this pandemic we have going on right now. Now I know for a majority of people who are possibly watching this, you might have lost your job. You might have had a little halt on your income coming in. So, I just don't want to make this video about myself and, kind of gloating about what I'm spending my money on, especially when some people need some money right now. But in a way, it's kind of like a little bit of an inspiration of what you could do and, just trying to make a little extra cash, especially in some bad times like this. Because I know there's over like, what, 2 point something millions of people right now without a job currently here in the US. So again, I know the situation is looking pretty bad. But listen, if you just put your mind into it, and just pick something to start right now during this crisis, I guarantee you will come out of this even better than before this crisis actually happened. So with that being said, let's go over how I'm actually spending slash investing my money during this pandemic. So obviously the first way that I'm investing my money right now is basically the simplest way that I think a majority of people are doing right now, and that's buying some of the dips on the stock market. Now, recently, I got out of the stock market and basically sold everything. But with this pandemic going on and certain stocks, are at huge discounts. Well, they were at huge discounts. So at the time of this video, they're not as big of a discount. But who knows down the road? Well, during this time, I've been investing a little money back into the market. Probably like $1,000 or so. Nothing big, nothing major. But I opened a Fidelity account and, started buying more stocks. And just got into some of the dips that have been happening recently. And even right now, I'm transferring more money to just buy little by little. Because with Fidelity, you can actually buy fractional shares. So with that, I'm able to, expand my money more into different sectors, different stocks, companies, and just expand my money and expand my risk overall. So that's one of the few ways that I'm, currently investing my money. And if you have the money to do it, then now is the perfectly good time to, start getting some knowledge and, learning the basics of how to invest. Or better yet, just even buying your first stock. It could be a random stock, put like $10 into it, buy it, learn how the game works, and just go from there, okay? You don't even need to have some type of knowledge, all right? But of course, if you can, take the time to learn about it, gain the skills, the knowledge, then obviously that's a better way to go about it. Don't just go and, do something without, learning the risks of doing it also, okay? So that's just one of the first ways that I'm investing my money. Now, another way that I'm investing my money right now during this pandemic is, well, if you follow me on, my other social media platforms, then I've been, working hard on my Amazon business as well. And that's kind of where most of my money is kind of currently going into. Because, you see, I don't know how many of you know how e-commerce is or how this pandemic is really changing, human habits overall. But with that being able to go out and, us staying quarantined at home almost every single day, well, people are shopping more and more online than ever before, okay? It's crazy because people had to adapt to this type of situation and, start buying online. Even people who have never bought anything before online had to start buying something right now. And if you did a little bit of online shopping on Amazon or eBay or whatever, then you're doing it even 10 times more than ever before. I know us as a family are definitely doing that right now. We've been buying just way more online. Personally, I think we're spending a little bit too much. You save on gas and car repairs, but is it really saving if your, online shopping expenses are going up? I don't think so. But anyways, and you see, that's the main reason why I'm working so hard on my Amazon business right now is because honestly, if you ever in your life decided that you wanted to start some type of Amazon business right now, or just any type of e-commerce business whatsoever, then honestly, now is the best time to start, okay? People always say, it's saturated, this is saturated, that is saturated, whatever it may be. Now is definitely one of the best times to get in there. And let me tell you guys, sales have been extremely crazy, okay? I've been buying items that have been, just selling like crazy here, left and right. I'll list them one day, and either they sell that same day or they sell the next day, which is completely insane to even think about. It honestly feels like Q4 all over again, during Christmas times. And it's just really crazy how this pandemic has just changed, the world really, how our habits have been recently. It's just really insane. And that's the two main top ways how I'm investing my money currently. Now, I want to say this because I know some of you may be in a situation where you lost your job, you lost your income, your only source of income. And I want to motivate you in a way to, by telling you, like, if you don't have money to invest because you lost your job, then you have plenty of time to invest, okay? Now is the time to invest your time into picking up a whole different skill set, learning something new, something that, you can start making money off right now, maybe in the next week or two. Because let's be honest, guys, we cannot continue to just wait for the government to give us stimulus checks, okay? I know a majority of people who are, and it's just a terrible way to, to depend on someone else to, support you, basically. Now, me, I'm not the type of person who likes that type of stuff at all. I don't want someone to be, buying my, my car, my food, or none of that. I mean, it's just, I don't know. That's just me, though, personally. But that's just a terrible way to go about it. And if you have plenty of time, guys, then now's the chance. Now's the time to go and learn something new, start something new. Like, for example, like I mentioned earlier, Amazon. I mean, business is booming on Amazon. Okay, if you're selling groceries or even toys or anything like that, game boards that people are, like if you go to, I've been in Walmart like one or two times before, and I passed by this, the toy aisles. Almost all the game boards, Uno cards, they're completely sold out from all these retail stores, okay? And I mean, if you can't find them at retail stores and people don't want to go out, you can go ahead and, try to look for some of those items and sell them online and make a sale, all right? And that's just one example of how, you're able to come out with something better in this situation instead of just waiting for the government to pay you, okay? Because when you can invest your time into something new, it can completely change your whole life, okay? Like, you never know what could happen. Now, you can even start a YouTube channel or something and start making some money off of that. Now, obviously, that might take a little bit more time, who knows, depending on your charismatic or just your editing skills or whatever. Regardless, even just doing that, and I mean, for all we know, you might have just lost a good 9-to-5 job right now that you thought you loved, but then you start a YouTube channel and you realize that you love it even more than your job. And now you're making possibly even more money from that. So, I mean, guys, there's just a lot of good things that are going to come out of this pandemic. I know it may seem bad for a lot of people. And I mean, I don't blame you whatsoever, okay? To lose your job, to lose your only source of income is terrible, okay? But you have to be able to use this, use that little downfall, that little L, and do something with it, come up out of it, and come back even stronger and harder than ever before, okay? Now is the time to get yourself up, pick yourself up, do something about it, and just go hard. Don't sit back and cry every single day about the situation. Let's try to do something, invest into something. Like I mentioned earlier, if you don't have money, guys, you have time. I guarantee if you don't have money, you have time to invest, okay? So again, invest into something new, invest in a new, different skill set, and come out of this pandemic even stronger. Because like I mentioned earlier, I'm going hard on my Amazon business right now, okay? Like, I'm reinvesting every single profit that I'm making off my business right now and reinvesting it back into more product, more inventory, and just, selling, buying, selling, repeat, rent, and just keeping it going, okay? Now, I wish I had more money to put into it, but for the time being, I don't want to, blow all my money either, just because, the risk involved with what's going on also. But those are just, those are my top two ways of how I'm investing my money right now during this pandemic. Now, if the stock market were to go even further down the road, I think I would invest heavy money into it as well, just because, I mean, if Microsoft is like 40%, 50% off, then I would go ahead and buy a couple of shares of those. And, obviously try to wait for that to grow back during the years and, just continue to grow my wealth, all right? And as far as the Amazon business, guys, I mean, it's getting wild out here. So if you're, if you're thinking about it, I would suggest maybe trying to hop into it. Get into it. You may or may not like it. Regardless, give it a chance. You never know until you do. Personally, I'm loving it right now. I mean, it's scaling up pretty hard, scaling up pretty fast. I mean, it's getting extremely crazy out here. Like, I mean, dude, it's just crazy right now. Like, if you ask anybody else out there who's actually investing into this pandemic right now, they'll tell you right now, it's pretty crazy. So those are just the two ways that I'm investing, guys. Again, that's not to gloat about anything whatsoever. That's to try to motivate some of you to, pick yourself up, pick some type of either business or a different skill and just try to come up out of this. Okay, guys, at the end of the day, we need to be strong. We need to move forward, and don't look back, just move forward and just adapt to the environment. Okay, we need to learn how to adapt better as human beings, that we can move forward and grow stronger and just make more money. All right, but that's gonna wrap it up for this episode, and I'll see you in the next one. All right, later.